And I suppose for your fans and for the younger fans out there, you've become somewhat of role models, whether you tried to or not. How does that affect you as people?
Had to put down the crack, right? Yeah, I think that, like, when we were starting in this business, like, there was, like, that was when, like, Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and, like Avril Lavigne, those were, like, the big acts when, Nelly Furtado. And you've seen, like, each of them have chosen to live out their sort of fame and celebrity and career very differently. And I think, not that those are necessarily the people we were modeling our careers after or watching for direction or anything, but, like, certainly there are certain streams you can take in your career when you're a musician or a famous person in our industry. And I think Sarah and I have always chosen to just remain somewhat humbled and behind the scenes and anonymous in our cities, and we're not out like whining and dining with famous people or we're not trying to climb that ladder at this point in our career. I don't know if Sarah's going to want to do that later on, but for now we're
her super pop solo album.
Yeah, who knows what'll happen in the future? But
because I'm going for dinner with Prince tomorrow. You're so jealous.
I know.
So weird.
But I think
I'm jealous.
I think for the remainder of what I foresee our career, at least together in this kind of configuration, I think we'll continue being just what we are, which is like songwriters and performers. And certainly when I'm on stage, I would never get wasted or get crazy or yell at the audience. I mean, like, I know how young and easily influenced a lot of the people in our audience are, and I hope that when they're listening to us talk or reading things about us or listening to our music, that they get to know who we are as people. And I think as people, we're, like really strong, intelligent, kind of not bad, not evil. I don't want to like judge anybody who drinks or does drugs or does anything, but we're not like that. And so I hope that that's what they get from us. And I think certainly being out, like, and, being so open about being gay and stuff too. Like, we meet a lot of kids who come with their parents who are like, when I came out, I told my mom about your band and now she's a big fan of you too. And the moms just look like so relieved to like meet us and like see us. And I don't know. I feel like that's the place that I see myself as a role model, is just like being like a really nice kind of even keeled kind of person, who's just like trying to, learn and experience as much as I can in our industry, and not worrying so much about like what I'm wearing or how I'm talking, or if I say the F word too many times in an interview or something. Like, I'm not worried so much about that kind of stuff. I figure my, personality or my nature will come through, and that makes me a good role model. But I certainly don't go out of my way to be a role model. I just know that it comes with the territory. Yeah.
And you've also outside of music, recently signed up for an anti-fur campaign.
Anti-fur?
Anti-fur. Mm-hmm. That's what it said, didn't it?
I don't know. I didn't know it at first.
Yeah, but you did.
Anti-fur campaign for Peter.
I thought you meant like fir trees, and I was like, trees are fine. Anti-fur, It's fine. Okay.
Sorry. Moving right along.
Yeah.
We're talking about like animals.
Yeah. Animals, yeah.
What made you sign up to that? Obviously, you're against fur.
It's interesting. It's interesting with PETA because it's like, I think that what they're trying to do is raise awareness about like how animals are treated, and if you're gonna, please don't wear fur. Like, there's just like no sort of like that's like black and white issue with them. I think there's like some gray areas with them, which is why I like them as an organization. Like, I don't think they're trying to tell people, animals are only our friends and like they cannot be used in any other, way. And me and Tegan we've had interesting conversations with them, just because being from Canada and our direct relatives being like farmers and like being, when you're out in the fields and it's like minus 45 and you're like driving around on your snowmobile or whatever, it's like my grandfather never thought that he was doing some serious damage by wearing like coyote fur on his like, parka or whatever, like these types of things. Like, there was reasons why, or like the indigenous people in Canada, it's freezing, it's like minus 60, like they're wearing like seal skins and they're doing these things, and like I don't have a hard stance about that. Like, I think to myself, like, for since the beginning of time, people have been using animal as a resource, for for survival, you know, whatever. But there's something just so upsetting, like profoundly upsetting and disturbing about the waste in our society now. Like this idea that, you know, like we kill animals and then we like, you know, we freeze them for like up to a year and then we like dish it out as hamburgers, and like it's so bad for you, and like and so much food is destroyed and wasted, and the torture and like, you know, like the conditions becoming so atrocious because it's cheaper or whatever. Like these things totally trouble me and terrify me and whatever. And so we had like no problem like putting our voice, you know, on the, you know, I guess in the growing chorus of people that are like saying like there's got to be, we're the ones that are accountable, we're the ones that are consuming the products, we're the ones that are eating the food, you know, we have to demand that those businesses or whatever, that they do have different standards, like because if we don't think about where the food comes from or how the food is treated, you know, or how the animals are treated, you know, before they become food, you know, like we're just as responsible. We may not be the ones actually doing the awful things, but we're sort of like we're condoning them by like I guess like not standing up. So I think it's like important.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sorry to end on such a hardcore note.
No, that's okay.
Quick
For the
killer
animals.
joke.
Tegan and
Yeah.
Sara.
Something
Very
about
cool.
holograms.